Please do forgive the sudden extreme difference in camera quality. I'm currently using my phone because my camera is out of commission. What are you doing? We don't have a whole lot of time for a quirky intro today, but if you're new here, hi, my name is Van, and I am an author who was originally going to make a book reviewing channel, but then my coworkers called me delusional for believing in Byler, and my response was to make a 2.5-hour long video proving them wrong, and now we're here. Sometimes you don't choose destiny, but destiny chooses you, and the reason why I'm making this is because I watched the documentary. And I know that I'm likely going to get at least some hate for the stuff that I'm going to say in this video, but I'm going to be so for real with you. I don't care. Okay, I am legit the same age as Finn and Noah and these other kids. Like Finn is 23, Noah is 21, I'm 22. Okay, in some ways, I have literally grown up with these kids. Not really kids anymore, but this has had years of buildup. Like this was supposed to be a proper send-off. So I watched the documentary. I sat through over 2 hours of it. And this was also like the first documentary I've ever really watched from Stranger Things, but I mainly watched it because I had seen the allegations going on, not only in my own comment section, but around Twitter and Tumblr and even TikTok. And I was like, okay, I think I actually need to watch this and see what the hell is going on. But I do just want to say that this documentary was not at all what I thought it was going to be. And honestly, the best part of it for me was just getting to see the sheer amount of effort and time and passion that not only the actors, but also the set designers and the production, the amount of effort that they put into those sets, having to rip down old ones to make room for the new ones. The Max Z one that took oh my god, the amount of time. You can literally feel through the screen the amount of love and passion they have for what they are creating. And then we turn to the Duffers, and it's just completely different. Sorry, my camera was falling. It was great to see that, but it was also kind of sad because all of that was just being overshadowed by the sheer amount of stress that they were under because of the Duffers. And it is worth noting that this documentary was made by Netflix. Honestly, this feels almost like a humiliation ritual for the Duffers. I feel like they both are they're both trying to pin the blame on each other. And I don't really know who to blame entirely, but the way that it's cut also makes it very difficult to know what the true story behind this is, because we don't really see a whole lot of the writer's room. We only see snippets of these conversations, and as someone who has been in workshops, I want to see the full conversation, because the way that it is, this is not a productive conversation. I feel like that goes without saying, but this is not a productive conversation because based off of what we have seen, it doesn't look good. If this is the truth, if this is what they did, what the hell? I honestly don't know why they released this, because this is career damaging worthy stuff. It doesn't just make them look bad, they look so tone deaf and out of touch. And they keep saying, they're oh, well, there was so much noise from Netflix. Yeah, dude, you had 3 years to finish this shit, and what did you do? So I just wrote down some of my thoughts, and we're just going to kind of speed run through them from while I was watching. So first of all, the way that they handled talking about Eleven's death, that whole conversation in the writer's room, which we get straight into it. There's not really much buildup. It's just straight into it, which, by the way, for those of you who loved 11 truly and were very hurt by her ending and are just sensitive about this subject or about the topic of in general, just please skip ahead a few minutes, because honestly, you don't deserve to hear what the Duffers were saying. So they literally treated her death like it was a plot twist. It was just the best form of shock value that their minds could come up with. There was literally no other option. There was nothing else that you could have done. Seriously? They were legit discussing toying with the audience and not going 100%. Going back and forth on this whole, they were talking about the idea of her herself or not, the way that you talk about deciding between 1 or 2% milk at the grocery store. Like, maybe it would have been different if 11 were killed, or like if there was an external force that like was doing this to her. Like if maybe in her battle with Vecna, they both died. But they are talking about suicide, an action that she makes in such a lighthearted manner that it genuinely made me angry. It really did. Even Millie herself has come out saying that she doesn't want to come across as ungrateful, but it's evident that she's not a fan of her ending. And no, I wouldn't be either. This makes me so angry too, because literally writing is meant to be critiqued. It is an art. Art is meant to be critiqued too. Like, they should be allowed to say that it sucks. They should not be afraid to express their opinions. Even Noah, like, I know that he cannot be 100% satisfied with all of this. Like, you saw his face at the episode 8, like, script reading. Like, there was a point where it literally looked like he pouted. Like, but also, like, how are writers meant to improve if we don't know that it sucks? But just, they truly believed that the only solution for 11 was erasure. Seriously? After years of being dehumanized and going through abuse, like, the most logical ending that you could come up with was suicide. Because the message that you are sending is that someone who has been exploited, dehumanized, and hurt since childhood, that the only way that she can find peace is through disappearing, one way or another. That her existence is a burden to others. You know, Stranger Things has always preached messages about choice and the idea of belonging and rebuilding yourself, and yet this ending is literally saying that no matter what you want, it's wrong. Because either way, they still couldn't commit. And they pivoted to ambiguity. Like, that somehow makes this better? Because either way, the messaging is the same. She's gone either way. She's alone either way. And you can claim that this is just me being too soft, but I'm going to be so for real with you, okay? Because this message is deeply personal to me, because I have had multiple family members of mine and people that I know commit suicide. It is an awful, awful thing to go through and to deal with, and to see it being portrayed in this manner is genuinely hurtful and disgusting, okay? It is. It's disgusting. Like, even with the reactions of other people in the room, like, they legit said that everything has to build to 11 is going to kill herself. Do you fucking hear yourself? She is a teenager. She is not an object. She is a human being. Oh my God. They are just so tone deaf. Like, I literally felt gross sitting there watching this, because I have sat through workshops with people like them before. People who get so defensive and who get hung up on this one idea and they do not let it go. Like, you have to pry it out of their dead hands. And it was just so quiet in those rooms. Like, it was just, like, just from what we saw, I don't even think that I would want to work with them, because it's not painting them in a good light. It's just so frustrating that they literally were not going to budge. Like, you could tell they were not going to budge. The only ending in their mind for her was suicide, because they are so hung up on this idea of her being ET that they're completely blind to the way that she has been written, to where she is not just an object anymore. And not even that, the thing that made me the most, like, genuinely angry, like, I had to pause the documentary, okay? They started production without a finished script. Now, I am more than aware that this does happen in the film industry, and that it is something that happens often, and sometimes it even is for a creative choice. But the issue, like, this is a monster of a production team, let alone that they had 3 years to plan this, to finish it, to write this out. And also, the way that the documentary is painting this out is them literally asking for sympathy. They literally admitted to not knowing what to do in the writer's room, saying, "I don't know how to play this," and admitting that they had no interest in writing. Okay, then why are you? It is fine if you don't want to write. But if you didn't want to at this stage, then why? Like, I understand that they saw it as a means to get into producing, but why are you doing it now? Why aren't you leaning on the other writers who are in the room with you, who are literally giving you ideas, who are literally trying? trying to collaborate and you're not even listening. Writing is supposed to be fun. If you love it enough, it'll love you right back. Like it is only a chore if you make it a chore. But the sympathy, like trying to get sympathy from people is what really started to piss me off, because they legit claimed that they were low on time, saying how like, oh, well, we have kids now, and then asking if their coworkers have kids. Like, dude, yeah, almost everyone in America has kids. Even the coworkers seemed a little bit caught off guard. Like, dude, it's not like you had a month. You had years. You had time to plan this out. What were you doing for those 3 years? If you were so worried, why didn't you lean on the people around you? Because Paul literally said what everyone has been talking about. He brought up that it is crazy to not have demogorgons or demobats or demo dogs in this abyss thing. And all that we got was just a throwaway line about how, oh, it's kind of weird that nothing's here. Like, it didn't even look like they really took his opinion into consideration, because the short-haired duffer was just like, dude. Like, they were constantly complaining about how Netflix kept pressuring them and other people, but like, you did this to yourself. Like, yeah, no shit, they kept pressuring you because people are relying on you. You are in the middle of production. There was even a scene when, like, I think it was the long-haired duffer, he was like showing someone his little wristwatch thing and talking about how, oh, I've been stressed since I woke up. Like, I'm supposed to have sympathy for you? Like, no, I don't have sympathy for you, because you did this to yourself. I have been in similar situations where I have had a deadline and I procrastinated, but did I ask for pity? No, I got my shit done and I turned it in. I didn't ask for pity. I didn't make excuses. I didn't say, oh, well, I'm sick, so cut me some slack, because you can do better. There are people relying on you. And it is so disrespectful to the team, because you can tell that everyone was so stressed and uncomfortable because they don't know what they're doing. They don't have direction. They are literally just going off of guesses based off of what information you have given them, because you didn't, oh my God, because you had help at your disposal that you were not taking. And yeah, you worked very hard to get here. Yeah, I get it. I know. But this is not only affecting how people see you now, it's going to affect how people see you in the future. Because to be so for real with you, like, normal, everyday people, we often have to work at least upwards of 2 jobs just to make ends meet now. People like me who are struggling to even find a job in her own career field thanks to AI, and who struggles to even afford to pay groceries. Like, no, I'm sorry that I don't have a whole lot of tolerance for narcissism. I mean, honestly, it was like the creative departments that managed to pull all this together. Like, they are so lucky that they worked well together. Because half the time, the Duffers didn't even look like they were enthused to be there. Like, they honestly just looked like they were done the whole time. Like, they were ready to just pack up and go home, which I cannot fathom that. I cannot fathom literally having my dream come to life and not be happy to be there. There was legit a woman who was filming part of episode 8, and she legit was saying that they were filming without a complete script and that she kind of had no idea what was going on. Do you not see what is wrong with this? Do you not see how your decision is impacting other people? Like, even in the final battle, they legit admitted to not knowing what a chase sequence looks like. Okay, then why are you writing one? There was the whole point of demo fatigue, which isn't even a thing, but even if it was, you chose to have all of those massacres. It was your choice. You're the one who chose to put in the Max Z massacre. And also, why not give Finn a gun? Why not? Oh, because then he'd actually have some importance, and giving him importance would mean addressing Byler? Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. Forget I said anything. Sorry, I forgot that we needed to push him as far into the background as possible, even though he's supposed to be one of our main characters. They legit said that they didn't want to go too crazy in the finale, and that it was just going to change as they kept writing it like alarm bells. Because how the hell are people even supposed to know how many shoots they're supposed to schedule if they don't even know what they're shooting? That is 70% of business that you cannot account for. And even by the end, we still have Joe Keery asking which way they're supposed to run. Like, it felt so rushed because it was rushed. It literally was. They were literally laying down the tracks as the train was moving. And yeah, writing is absolute shit. When you rush, take it from me, someone who has written stuff while rushing, because you are literally left with so many unanswered questions because of this. Because when you're rushing, you don't have the time to sit down and actually properly think through things. Your main thing is just getting it done. But then you have this clusterfuck, and it's like, did we really not even have the budget? Like, was a marker not included in the budget to actually write words on the dumbass sign at the graduation? Maybe no one will notice. Legit scrapping endings and stuff that would have actually made so much more sense for ones that don't. And I can't even fathom why they decided to go against some of these ideas, like Will fighting the mind flayer, or Kay's death, or even Hopper knowing about Eleven's fake out. The fact that they cut out Will fighting the mind flayer is probably why he felt so sidelined in the actual finale, which is so funny, Duffers, especially because you claim that he's supposed to be the main character. Even the shot with Mike literally rubbing his thumb on Will's binder at the end. Like, the problem is that with a show of this scale and size, like, this is a huge production. Okay, it is ginormous. Thousands of people. Like, sets that are twice the size of an average movie set. You have so many people, you need to have things figured out. I'm sorry. There is no excuse. And especially because the story is so big, there is so much to figure out. You do not... this is not a story that you rush, okay? There is so much to figure out. You should not be parsing this through while you are in production. There are too many questions that need answers. Your narrative is suffering. Like, seeing the actors in this was honestly, like I said, like, literally the best part of this entire thing for me. Apart from seeing just, like, the sheer talent and effort of, like, the costume designers and the set designers. Like, they put so much work into, like, the rib cage thing, only for them to put that gross ass piss filter on it. And now it just looks bad. It looks gross, and I feel so bad because they put so much time and effort into that. Like, it was so cool to see. Noah was literally so happy to even be asked for his input and was like, well, I guess that they trust me. Like, did he really never feel like they trusted him before? When you have actors who care about their characters so much, it is such a wasted opportunity to not collaborate and engage with them on this stuff. Like, even Caleb was like, do I get to run again? Like, baby, I would have written you as many running scenes as you wanted. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't. Like, how are you this... Like, even the actors seem confused when they tried to explain to them the logistics of, like, this whole wormhole thing. Like, Natalia was literally asking if they consulted someone, like, if this had any scientific basing. The brothers were arguing about, like, trying to cut the finale script down, like, getting hammered down by people. Yes, yeah, they are pushing you. People are relying on you. They legit erased characters that they claimed were supposed to be the front and center. Like, Will... basically sidelined. 11 gets killed. You literally erased Will. I will never, ever forgive them for this. That they erased Will out of the roller rink picture at the end of the finale. I'm sorry. No, I'm not even sorry. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck is wrong with you? We didn't even focus on their characters really in the documentary either. Barely any time was really focused on the characters. David Harbour and Winona Ryder weren't even in this documentary, really. It was all just about the poor Duffers pity show and all of the poor people who were so stressed, and it was chaos. It was utter chaos. Like, we didn't even touch on the coming out scene. We were jumping around way too much. It literally feels like the actors care more about their characters than the writers themselves do. Because Maya legit had to remind Sean, that no one knew that she and Vicky were together. Like, it seemed like the script had completely even forgotten where they are. Not to mention the scene with Jamie, where he was literally, I think it was long-haired Duffer, I don't fucking know, but he was in his Vecna suit and was trying to, like, talk to him about Henry and, you know, like, connecting with him on a deeper level, and the dude was legit giving him nothing, just being like, oh yeah, this is so beautiful, bro. Like, I would have been full on geeking out with Jamie. Okay, I would have been geeking out with him about this because yes, it is really interesting that he chose the Creel house even though it had such bad memories and connotations for him before. He even brought up Patty, which no, but people who haven't even heard about the play don't even know who Patty is. And it is already tough enough to play a villain, and I love how he is connecting with the character, trying to, even at the end where he's like, what he'd been trying to convey was please don't. Like he's so closely connected to this character, and the fact that this Duffer isn't even like, because when you are a writer, you love your characters. You do, because you spend so much time with them. You are literally creating a whole person, a whole life. That's why it's so easy for me to attach and adapt. It's why rewrites are so fun for me, because I love these characters so much. I can see exactly the way that they see. I can see how Mike sees. I can see how Will sees. I can see how Hopper sees, or Vecna. Because if you are a good writer, you can see things from all of their perspectives, because you have to. That's your job. But the fact that this Duffer dude was literally just like, oh, cool, man. It's just so heartbreaking. Engage with him. Engage with him on this stuff, please, for the love of God. I get it. You know, it's the final season. You just want to be done. But it's just so... I don't understand. I really don't. And maybe it's because I've never had an opportunity like this before and I don't know what the stress is like. But writing villains can be so fun and so challenging. And the fact that he was literally just trying to communicate this with you and you were giving him nothing is just, it's heartbreaking to me. It really is. Because even until the very end, they didn't even seem emotional at the table reading for the last episode. Short-haired Duffer cried maybe once. They literally, the whole time, just read to me as just wanting to get it done and go home. Even asking why certain people were crying. Even Noah legit bawling his eyes out when they all wrapped up. If it were me, I would be sobbing right alongside them. It's weird to me that they read as being so, yeah, they said some nice words, but they just seem so blasé. It felt like they didn't want to be there. And maybe it was just me, but that was how I was reading it. And this is also something that I noticed, but they struggled a ton with realism. And I noticed this particularly when they were staging how Karen's injuries and her attack from the Demogorgon, as they were splashing blood around, one of them literally asked, if it was too much. They clearly are struggling so much with who they should kill off that they can't even determine if an injury would be enough to kill someone. It's just coming across as them being so unsure of themselves. And the problem is that when you are that unsure of yourself, now I'm unsure of you. As directors and producers, that's different. But as a writer, if you are second guessing her injuries when she is literally getting set up to do this, if you are not confident in your decisions, if you are not confident that this injury is not enough for her to die, then why should I be confident in you? There was even a point where they said something about wanting this to be fun and not be all about death, which is part of their excuse for not killing off more people in the show. But my dude, are we watching the same show? The same one where we've seen countless massacres. You killed Bob, you killed Eddie, you killed Alexi. Moments where you kill off people that fans loved and felt heartbroken over losing. It genuinely feels like they have become so disconnected from their original vision that they don't know anymore. They don't know. And we just have these extreme protagonist halos that makes moments like the end of Volume 1 just feel weird, because while I do love that moment where Will gets his powers, why didn't Vecna kill him? There was legit no reason for him not to kill him. That whole villain monologue was, to me, it was leading up to him killing him. But no, he just left him there. I remember watching that scene and wondering that. Why didn't he kill him? No, we don't want him to die. I don't want him to die, but you need a reason. You need a reason for him not to. Because it comes across as sloppy and weird, especially when we don't get any further explanation for this. And I get it. It is scary to make a big decision like that. I get it. It is scary. But the thing is, you have to do it with your full chest. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart. It's reasons why people are still trying to figure out how Karen and Ted are still alive, or how she managed to do more damage to a Demogorgon with a broken bottle than military men with guns could. And I honestly, there did come a point in the documentary where I started to wonder if the Duffers probably just burnt themselves out at some point, because we showed an insane, like just the insane amount of time and focus that went into the Max Z massacre. Like honestly, from what they showed, it felt like they spent a lot more time on that than they even spent on the final battle. And like we should have been using that precision because that was a good scene. It was a genuinely good scene. It was scary, and because left and right people were being massacred, killed. But even with that level of attention, there was still the problem of it feeling empty and having people just standing there. Like they were saying stuff like, I think it can be better. Dude, yeah, put that effort into your final battle. That is what people are going to remember. Please, like even Finn admitted that Mike hasn't been the leader in quite a while, so it was great that he got to actually do something. Like it genuinely felt like they didn't know what to do, and they weren't willing to figure something out. It's okay to not know what to do, but they literally, like, it felt like they were not willing to try and, like, be creative, like, figure out something. Like, they had been talking about, like, the obvious big monsters that they would have to chase, and what sucks is when you have a big monster like that, like the Mind Flayer, that is so cool because that means that you get to be creative in determining how you kill it. But what did they do? They had it become a flesh body so that they could just kill it in under 10 minutes and be good. Because there are so many other creative ways that you can do this. Like Attack on Titan, I'm pretty sure it was episode 8 of season 1, but one of my most memorable moments from that show is that elevator scene where all of these soldiers are literally descending into like this area where they have to kill multiple Titans at once. And for those who haven't seen it, the Titans are like these gigantic monsters who literally eat people. They eat people. They're scary, and I got more fear and anxiety watching these soldiers than I did during the final battle because they literally are all sitting there in this elevator with these guns, and they have to wait. They have to wait until these Titans come close enough so that they can shoot them. Like, we see how scared they are. Like, a guy literally gasps when one of the Titans turns around because, yeah, that's fucking scary. But they aren't running. They aren't running because they have nowhere to run. They are the only ones who can do this. It is kill or be killed. And you can see the fear in their eyes. Like, I didn't get any of that from the final battle. I really didn't. Because you already have so many people here who have nothing to do. Like, come up with something for them to do. Like, have that quiet, intense moment to build anxiety, to build fear before that chaos erupts. Because otherwise you get people trying to figure out how the hell they scaled those cliffs in under 2 minutes. And when talking about the ending, they kept saying that they wanted to maintain the sense of fun without death, or else it becomes depressing. But like, you are legit killing your symbol of childhood magic. You legit admitted to it. It is depressing, dumbass. It is almost comedic the way that they say these things, because their fears are literally exactly what happened. Like, they mentioned how a bad ending can make people completely disregard the entire show. Are you aware of how many people don't even want to, like, rewatch Stranger Things now because of what you've done? How there are so many people who literally have said that they wish that they could get their time back from watching season 5. And not only did people mention the horrible formatting of the Duffers script when we got to see their computer screen, but people also noticed Reddit and ChatGPT tabs open, which an interview from, like, I think it was one of the producers had came out, or directors, to address the ChatGPT allegations. And she basically said, like, well, doesn't everyone have ChatGPT open for tasks nowadays? I genuinely cannot believe the world that we live in right now. Like her main thing was just that nobody can prove that they actually had it open. And no, maybe we can't prove that. And no, we cannot prove that even if they did had ChatGPT open, that is what they were using it for, to rewrite the script. But also, I kind of don't even think that they did use ChatGPT, because if they did, that meant that the script would be finished. And again, it definitely is an unreliable narrator situation, because it is impossible for us to know the truth unless they come out and admit to it that they used ChatGPT in their script. I mean, it would explain the way that some of the dialogue is written compared to earlier seasons, but again, it just is impossible to know. And Just in case you were curious, no, I did not use ChatGPT in my rewrite. I was literally snacking on cookie dough bites and rewatching What We Do in the Shadows because I was a Nandermo shipper and I am still sad. Just in case you wanted to know what I was doing while working on the rewrite. I am also pretty sure that my printer is low on ink now. There is also another allegation of Lee Janiak, who was married to one of the Duffers and who created the Fear Street anthology, which is amazing. And a lot of people are thinking that she was a major contributing force to Stranger Things without getting any credit. And there are quite a lot of parallels with the cinematography of the Fear Street movies to Stranger Things. And also Fear Street did feature a lot of LGBTQ representation with a forefront lesbian couple. And she also divorced one of the Duffers in between the production of Volume 1 and Volume 2, I believe, which if that is the case and the Duffers truly did scrap everything, because a lot of people think that she was the mastermind behind Byler, and if this is true, and that the Duffers scrapped everything that she had been building up to out of spite, like I legit have no words. And that is a first for me. It is, but of course there is no like actual confirmation of that. So, but either way, I genuinely don't think that people are angry enough about what we just saw. Like, they don't understand the sheer amount of incompetence and arrogance that was being displayed here. Like, I was mad at them, but no, I am pissed. I am pissed off, okay? Because the Duffers had years to write this, to finish this, and they had the audacity to hand over read scripts to people who needed to know important details and told them, figure it out, forget about it being a good or a bad script for a second, okay? It was not done. It was not finished. And even if they did use AI, it does not excuse that this was the most half-assed that we could have been given, okay? Only for them to turn around and ask for us to be generous. Like, do you understand how tone-deaf you sound right now? How many people are struggling to even find a job? All that we were asking was for you to finish what you started, and all you can do is spew excuses. They could have created something groundbreaking, but they legit were just like, we don't know. We don't know. Sorry, we don't know. And they didn't even we saw proof of them not even really listening to the people who were giving them good ideas that would have made the story better. Endings are so crucial to stories because just like the opening, this is what you are going to remember. When you think back to Stranger Things, you are going to think of this. This is the lasting taste in our mouths. This is how we will always remember the story being closed, just like the way that the actors are going to remember it. And the thing is that people who genuinely love art, and writing, we don't do it for the money. We don't do it for the fame. Like, asking me to stop writing would be like asking me to stop breathing, okay? It is who I am. And because of that, I do have to live with all the hatred and all the, what are you actually going to do with your life? Like, when are you finally going to get a real job? But I stick with it because I believe that I have something meaningful to contribute. But you can just tell that they lost their love for it somewhere along the way, somewhere down the road. They lost their love for this. And there are people who would kill to be in their position, to do what they do. And it's just, it's not fair. It's not fair because I love writing. I'm sure that you guys can tell, but I love writing so much. And I deserve it to not only myself, but to all of you to be putting my best work out into the world. Because like I said, when you are a creator, you are sending your work out into the world to be critiqued, to be analyzed, to be loved. Because in cases like this, you don't get a second chance. This is your one shot. And regardless, this is going to follow the Duffers wherever they go after this. But they are set up for life. They are multi-millionaires who already have a bunch of spin-offs lined up. When 99% of artists and people like me, we rarely ever see anything for our labor and for our effort. And yet these two get millions for putting in the bare minimum effort. I am not the Duffers. I don't have the influence or the money or the opportunities that they have. I'm just me. I'm just Van. I'm just a girl who writes because it's what she loves. And I do the best that I can to inject as much love and hope into the world because I have already been through so much in my own life and our world is already full of so much hatred and negativity. I decided to make this channel and those Byler videos because I couldn't be quiet anymore. I really couldn't. Not after seeing all of the homophobia and the bullying and witnessing it firsthand. Like, I put dozens of hours into these scripts and into the video editing and into my channel art and the thumbnails and the descriptions and reading all of your guys' lovely comments. And I put so much effort into that rewrite, and I will do it again. I will happily do it again. And no, just so you know, I'm not making millions out of doing this. But you know what? I don't care. I literally just know that there are people out there like me whose hearts have been shattered because of what was done to us and what was taken away from us. And the thing is that I have the means to fix it. I have the skill set to fix it. And if I can, I'll do it. Because it's the right thing to do. If I can make even one person feel just a little bit happier, if they can just imagine my alternate ending as being canon, and if that'll be enough to make them feel even just a little bit happier and less heartbroken over the reality, I will do it. I will do it time and time again for you. If I can make you feel even a little bit healed by presenting an alternate version where queer love was actually authentically represented, then my mission is complete. Because I know what good stories can do when they are told well and by people who care and understand. And how powerful it can be when you reach people and when you connect with them on a level that is this intense and deep. Like they could have made something life-changing if they had anything valuable to say, but they played it safe and they didn't even finish it. Like I genuinely, I cannot fathom an alternate reality where I stood in their shoes and I had everything that they had and I didn't give it my all. I didn't give it everything that I had. I can't imagine that. It really has warmed my heart to see just how much good my tiny little rough rewrite did for you guys. Because guys, that was literally just me scratching the surface. Okay, I can go so much deeper, and it literally is just showing me how starved we are for authentic queer representation. And you guys had said that my rewrite was very loyal, and it's because I genuinely care so much about these characters and about this show. Like a lot of you had said, seems like even more than the writers themselves, and I kind of agree with you, because I love the potential that was there. And honestly, like what I would have given to be able to talk to these actors and to be their writer instead. Because this is a story that deserves a writer who still loves it and who still loves the act of creating and writing, even if it does take away your time from doing other things, who puts their everything into this. One of the difficult things here is that it really does feel like the Duffers had no idea what the answer to a lot of those questions are. So it is going to be a little difficult for me to do a more in-depth rewrite, because while remaining truthful to their vision, because I still have no idea what certain answers are, like with Vecna and the Mind Flayer and the 12 kids and all that bullshit. But I love a good challenge, and I'm willing to try and take the time out of my day to puzzle it out for you, because my goal is to make a more in-depth I'm doing another rewrite. I think I had mentioned it in the community post, but I'm doing another rewrite, a more in-depth rewrite, because you guys really want to see it, and I really want to give you guys happiness. Okay, I really want to give you what you guys have been asking for in some form, even if it's not official, even if it just is a video or like a script, just something. Which, by the way, I know some of you were asking, but if any of you want to write fanfics, or if you want to make art based off of my rewrites or anything, go for it. yes, please do it. Just make sure that you send it to me though, because I really want to see it. But yes, please create. Please do whatever makes you happy. But like I said, my goal is to keep it as true to the original intention as was possible. And by original intention, I mean like season 1 and 2, like that intention, like back when it still felt like there was a direction. And so my vision for this, I know that some of you were wondering about me doing like an AO3 rewrite, but what I kind of want to do is, so first, it'll likely just be like a really long video first of me just like going over how the rewrite what would happen in the rewrite and what it would be like. But then what I might do is, if I have the time, I might actually write out some of the scripts. It may not be like a full script format, but it might be like individual scenes. And then I could upload that document for people to look at for whenever they want, really, once I'm officially done with it. And based off of the poll and based off of like what I personally think, I think that what I'm going to do for the rewrite is it's going to be kind of a gradual thing. So season 1 and season 2 will be kept basically the same, but season 3, I think I'll start in season 3 where I make very small changes. Like certain things are going to be like changed up a little bit. Then season 4, I'm going to change a little bit more. You'll understand why later, but I might change things a little bit. And then a little bit more in season 4, but then season 5, entire rewrite. I think I'm going to rewrite the entire thing. I will still be keeping some scenes though that I really did enjoy. Like obviously we can keep like the field scene in there. Like I loved that part. Or maybe even Robin's speech or just some stuff like that. Like I will be keeping, like when I say redoing the entire thing, I am still keeping some of those things, okay? So like don't freak out. Like I am still keeping those things, but I'm going to be like, fixing it, essentially, fixing. But either way, I will still keep posting updates in the community tab on here. And I did make a TikTok and an Instagram in case any of you are interested in following those. I'll have them linked in the description of this video. So if you are interested in following along with me and seeing the updates of this, like go ahead and subscribe if you want and follow me over there, because this really is something that I am deeply, deeply passionate about, in case you could not. Because I want to give you, in any means that I can, the ending that we deserve and not the ending that we were given. Because like I keep saying, we deserve love too, okay? And what they gave us was not love. Oh, and by the way, to the Duffers, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll catch up to you someday. It won't be today. It won't be tomorrow. It probably won't be for a couple of years from now, but don't worry. Don't worry. One day I'll catch up. Like Catra to Adora, one day I will catch up to you. I'll match your pace someday, and I will take the risks that you were not willing to take. And I will prove the message that you completely forgot about, that love can and always will be more powerful than fear. That's all I have for you today, guys. But let me know if there are other subjects that you want me to tackle. I know someone had said something about me doing a Bly Manor analysis. I can absolutely do that. But I am also, classes are starting up for me again on the 20th, so this rewrite may take a little while for me to figure out and churn out. But like I said, like follow me, subscribe to me. I will keep you updated. I will keep you updated on my thoughts and everything. And I might even ask questions or opinions, because again, like this is like I want this to feel like a community, okay? Like, but otherwise I will likely just be making videos as I go. But like I said, either way, I will keep you updated. And in the meantime, keep creating, okay? All right. I love you. Bye.